Capital News tonight. Former presidential candidate for Chadema returns to CCM. And in international Burundi parliament questions UL's move to remove Burundi forces from Somalia. And in sports individual sports stakeholders to introduce their own leagues. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Karidia Zimbwe. First, the national news. The presidential candidate for Chadema in the 2015 general elections, retired Prime Minister Edward Ngoyai Lowassa, has removed from the party and returned to CCM. The incident occurred at the CCM offices at Lumumba in Dar es Salaam, where he was received by the national chairman of CCM and President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli.
He came and expressed his intention, and we had a very long discussion for at least 4 hours. He requested to be accepted back into the CCM party after taking into consideration all factors. He has been welcomed back. One main agenda that he spoke about was that he would like to see a united country. He isn't happy with political division, which has served self-interest.
The body of the Director of Strategy and Programs Development for Clouds Media Group, Ruge Mutahaba, who passed away on February 26 in South Africa, where he was receiving treatment before he passed away. Hundreds of individuals came out to receive the body of the late Ruge, where some of them said they had a significant contribution to the nation. After the body was received at Julius Nyerere International Airport, a convoy passing through Buguruni, Uhuru Road, Karume Road, Magomeni Morocco Hotel, Sinza Kijiweni, Bamaga, ITV, Clouds, Kawe to Lugalo Army Hospital, where the body will stay until tomorrow, when he will be taken at Karimjee morning for last respects.
Ruge has left us with something to ask ourselves. He has done his part and has gone ahead of us. So we must ask ourselves that what sort of legacy we would leave behind.
Now, 5 people have died after they were buried under sand while they were mining precious minerals at mines in Amaninakolo ward in Mbinga District, Ruvuma region. The chairman of the Mbinga District Council, Mr. Ambrose Talazaki, said that 2 miners, namely Halfan Abdul and John Bosco, died after they were buried under sand in a ruby mine. Mr. Talazaki also said that Isaac Kyle, Kanuth Ndunguru, and another miner called Awami Wow all died after they were buried under sand in a mine which is located within the Amanimakolo Forest Reserve.
Sadly, I am sorry to also say that 3 miners, namely Isaac Charlie, Kenneth Nduguru and Awami Wow, all died as well at a mine which is located in the Amanimakolo Forest Reserve. As the Ruvuma Regional Commissioner, I would also like to announce the closure of the mines. I must say that with this being the rainy season, mining at these mines has become very dangerous for those involved. So I'd like to repeat that the mines will be closed for now.
The High Court of Appeals has rejected an appeal that was filed by the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, and instructed the High Court to continue listening to an appeal which had been presented with a certificate of emergency by the Chadema chairman Freeman Mbowe and the MP for Tarime Urban Esther Matiko. Now, while reading the court's appeal of decisions regarding the appeal that had been presented by the DPP, the court's registrar Sylvester Kahinda said that the High Court has been given the jurisdiction to listen to the case according to Section 391, Article 2 of the Law of criminal offences under this following stipulations. The Registrar Sylvester Kahinda said that according to Section 395, Article 1, the Court of Appeal would not agree that a High Court judge was unable to continue presiding over the case because both sides did not have the reference which had been published concerning the case, which had been taken to the High Court via a certificate of emergency. As such, if the High Court does agree to continue listening to the case, its judges will have to discharge its duties according to the law, and in addition, the Registrar called upon the DPP to be cautious when asking for more adjournments in the case, because this means that it will take longer for the case to be concluded. Speaking with the media, the lawyer for the defense, Professor Abdallah Safari, praised the decision that had been taken by the Court of Appeal to dismiss the appeal which had been filed by the DPP. Moreover, Professor Safari said that his clients have every shred of the confidence in the fairness of the court where respect of their rights is concerned, and he requested the High Court to schedule an early date for when the case will be listened to.
Myself and other judges in the panel will write a letter today to the head judge, because Honorable Mboy and Esther have been in custody for almost 3 months, that's 97 days, and their rights to freedom have been breached as per the Constitution. So we hope that our appeal will be heard soon enough, as early as next week. I hope by Monday this can be sorted out so we can decide on how to proceed.
The fire brigade in Temeke has placed Bora factory under special observation with no activities permitted at the factory as it is not safe. Temeke Police Commander said that they are continuing to stop the remnants of the fire so as to ensure that the factory is safe. Some workers of the factory have said that they have found themselves at a crossroads as they have no idea what follows after the factory being shut down.
As you can see, we've been able to control the fire 95%. What we are doing right now is to carry out a thorough check to make sure this area is safe. As you've heard, the warehouse is the one that caught fire and not the factory. This has affected us a lot because we're not sure how this will impact our jobs. We don't know if we will be asked to leave for a while. We've been advised to wait for Honorable Minister, so we are going to wait and see what he says.
The Ministry of Livestock and Fishing has started to take emergency measures in an effort to address an outbreak of anthrax by distributing the vaccine for the infectious disease in areas which have been most affected by the disease. Areas of the country which have been most affected by the infectious disease include Kilimanjaro region and Longido district in Arusha region. 35,000 vaccines have been distributed in Longido district and 65,000 in Kilimanjaro region.
Kwa hiyo ombi letu kubwa sana kwa Tanzania, wasile mnyama yoyote ambaye amekufa.
Our call to all Tanzanians is not to eat meat from a dead carcass or touch it, because the virus stays on in the soil, grass, etc. And if an animal comes across the virus, then it dies instantly. The same applies to a human being. There is hope still that this matter is at a stage that we can do something about. People shouldn't be alarmed, as this illness is treatable.
Kila nyama ile atakufa.
Ni kweli kwamba tulipata taarifa kwamba kulikuwa na.
It is true that we received information on a giraffe dying. After carrying out some tests, it was confirmed that the giraffe had been infected. Some parts in this region have not been infected.
The Director of the Road Transport at the Surface and Marine Transport Regulatory Authority, Sumatra, Johansen Kahatano, said that the government has prepared a special procedure to inspect lorries using special motor equipment so as to avoid accidents caused by the substandard lorries.
We came up with a new law that will see vehicles are inspected twice per year. This was passed in Parliament. I hope that this will help resolve some of the problems we are facing. This area has faced a lot of problems. What we've decided is to bring police presence. If there was an alternative to separate lorries and small vehicles, we would have done that, although it would have taken a long time. For every company traveling out of the country has a parking. This operation is progressive. We've just started. I will personally set up camp here so as to avoid more accidents from happening in Songwe.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has directed the Minister of Industry and Trade, Joseph Kakunda, to hold talks with the Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender and the Elderly, Umi Mwalimu, on how to join Tanzania Food and Drugs Authority, TFDA, with Tanzania Bureau of Standards, TBS.
TFDA, mna vitu vinafanana katika kufanya kazi.
There are some similarities on how you operate. You must sit and look at your laws. You'll see how similar they are. They serve the same purpose. Let one of you take care of that. You are all in the government. The duty of the government is one. There is no need to have so many responsibilities as long as you have the same objective. You must harmonize them so as to remove red tape that affect your clients. We ask the business community and Tanzanians to work hard in dealing with corruption. The development that we see now in healthcare infrastructure, agriculture and water, it is because of the fight we've had against corruption. So we must focus on this and collect revenue so as to benefit our people.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows shortly after the break. In international news, the Parliament of Burundi has questioned the move by the African Union's Defense and Security Council to remove Burundi forces that are in Somalia. A Speaker of Parliament said that this step could have been taken after the meeting of nations with forces in Somalia.
La paix et la sécurité ne règnent pas encore sur tout le territoire somalien.
Peace and harmony have not stabilized in Somalia because Al-Shabaab terror groups have not surrendered. That is why the parliament is collaborating with President Pierre Nkurunziza and Mohamed Abdallah Farmajo to oppose the move initiated by the African Union's Peace and Security Council for reducing Burundi officers in Somalia.
The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Gender and Development, has set aside 3.5 billion Ugandan shillings, which is equivalent to $941,050 so as to fund provision of free education to street children in villages and cities, as well as to find them alternative homes.
We are moving towards removing street children.
We are moving towards removing street children. Earlier, we tried to remove them and took them to rehabilitation centers, but we realized that this is not working because there are forces behind it that kept on bringing them back to the streets. We have passed a supplementary budget of 3.5 billion shillings to support these children.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has made some slight changes in his Council of Ministers. One of the change is the dismissal of the Minister of Sports, Rashidi Echesa, just 1 year after he was appointed to the position due to his involvement in the embezzlement of billions of Kenyan shillings.
ninaomba kwa heshima kubwa, mzee Raila, toa jina yangu kwa mdomo yako. I'm not your equal.
People expected Mr. President to dismiss Rashid Echesa because he didn't have qualification to do that job. He was just a burden to politics of this country. Among other things that he did is he used to attack the opposition leader Raila Odinga.
Jambo la kwanza, adili hao wafisadi kwa njia ambayo sio ya kawaida.
Changing the cabinet is not enough. He should go back and fight corruption and deal with corrupt leaders. According to the constitution of this country, we don't want to take law into our hands and take these offices ourselves because our leaders have failed to lead and protect interests of the citizens.
Doctors fighting against Ebola in East Congo have said that they will not be threatened by attacks on their centers in Butembo, but rather will continue to fight the virus until it is eradicated.
Ebola virus is one amongst the viruses that can easily be spread and kill people. We have not failed to provide services. Despite the threat, our aim is to eradicate Ebola in Butembo. We shall be here to do just that. When the attackers attacked the health center, the patients ran to us. We all got so scared because we didn't want to be infected with the disease. Now we don't know what to do or even where to seek help.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand.
You must quickly think how cost effective are you going to be.
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. The Ministry of Agriculture has allayed the fears of cotton farmers in the country and pledged to resolve the challenge of shortage of other inputs by purchasing them from producers outside the country directly.
As a ministry on the issue of pesticides, we have seen that it is best that as the government, we should be the one responsible for staying in touch with companies that produce pesticides, because 85% of pesticides are coming from China. In the coming season, the government will be in the forefront in ensuring that farmers receive good quality pesticides and reduce the role of middlemen in this business. My question is, cotton has been grown in this country for years. Farming seasons are known. How come pesticides are brought late? Why don't we organize ourselves well so that pesticides can reach farmers on time?
Now, Tanzania Electricity Supply Company TANESCO has launched a special campaign to educate entrepreneurs on purchase of modern electricity equipment with the capacity to reduce use so as to prevent them from spending a lot of money in buying electricity.
Mfano unapokwenda kununua friji, nunua friji ambayo ni energy saver.
When one buys a fridge, make sure it has an energy saver.
Fanya hii kampeni kwa muda wa wiki nzima kuhakikisha kwamba
we shall conduct this campaign for the whole to ensure that citizens are educated on different issues, people bringing forward challenges they face and what they need TANESCO to do so as to improve the services provided, especially in Temeke zone.
And Tanzania Bureau of Standards (TBS) has conducted an operation to take samples of flour sold in machines and stores in Dar es Salaam so as to satisfy themselves on the quality of the flour.
Leo tunafanya zoezi moja la ukaguzi wa bidhaa.
Today we are holding inspections at our markets, specifically inspecting maize flour by collecting samples from different machine stations in Manzese area for testing quality of the flour made.
Kwa leo nimefarijika sana baada ya kuwaona TBS wamekuja.
I'm pleased to see TBS officers visiting these small factories. With my experience, we have never had TBS visit. This is good that they did not only just come to inspect maize flour provided here, but also to provide knowledge that we have never had before. We need to grow and increase value to our flour. However, we urge SIDO to also recognize us.
Mikopo tunaweza tukapata kule tukaendelea zaidi ya hapa tulipokuwepo.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows next after the break.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hip, the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports news, individual sports stakeholders have been urged to introduce their own leagues at the village level for soccer to develop in the country.
I would like to encourage as many volunteers to assist the rural areas in Tanzania to undertake sports activities, because it's important that the people should be aware that sports is part of the skills for the youth. They should not take it as it's a waste of time, because that is the misconception which is sometimes there. All councils in Tanzania to start having a budget line for sports, so that we don't make noise that the central government has not given the schools money for sports. Rather, the councils should be the ones giving the basic sports facilities to the schools instead of waiting for the central government to be able to provide such a budget line.
Fulham have sacked manager Claudio Ranieri after just 160 days in charge, with first-team coach Scott Parker taking temporary charge. Here's more on the story.
The Italians' last game was Wednesday's 2-0 defeat by Southampton, which left the Cottagers 19th in the Premier League, 10 points from safety with 10 games left. Ranieri took over in November after the sacking of Slavisa Djokanovic. The 67-year-old won only 3 of his 17 games as manager. It included a 3-2 victory over Southampton in his first game, but 11 defeats have followed, including an FA Cup third-round exit at home to League Two side Oldham.
Roger Federer bet Martin Fasovic to reach the Dubai Tennis Championship semi-finals and close in on his 100th ATP singles title. Here's the report.
The Swiss was pushed by the Hungarian, world number 35, but came through 7-6, 8-6, and 6-4 in 1 hour and 57 minutes. If Federer wins an 8th title in Dubai, he will become just the second player to win 100 singles titles after American Jimmy Connors, who won 109. Federer will play 6th seed Borna Coric of Croatia in the last 4. Coric needed 2 hours and 27 minutes to see off Georgian Nicolas Basilashvili 4-6, 6-2, and 7-6 and 7-1. 20-time Grand Slam champion Federer, currently 7th in the world, is the highest-ranked player remaining in a draw, with Greece's Stefanos Tsitsipas meeting Frenchman Gael Monfils in the other semi-final.
And Aaron Gordon had 22 points and 15 rebounds as the Orlando Magic overcame a 13-point fourth-quarter deficit to defeat the Golden State Warriors 103-96 on Thursday at Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Here's more on the story.
The Magic went on a 14-2 game-ending run, with Gordon scoring 7 of those points. Nikola Vucevic added 12 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks for the 29-34 Magic. Stephen Curry had 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists for the 43-19 Warriors, who have lost 4 of their last 6 games. Golden State played without Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.
Decor this week. I want us to discuss the common mistakes that happen kwenye nyumba of a very ordinary Tanzanian.
Nyumba nyingi unakuta hili hawalizingatii, na katika ujenzi unakuta sawa mtu amejenga au engineer amejenga iko fine, yeye hana problem kwa sababu kafanya part yake, umeona. Lakini sasa inapokuja kwenye practicality inakuwa haiko, kwa sababu katika interior designing sio tu kufanya nyumba iwe bora, lakini iwe salama vile vile.
Join us on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on your favorite channel, Capital TV.
Kitabu cha Dr. Reginald Abraham Mengi kitwacho I Can, I Must, I Will sasa kinapatikana kwenye maduka ya kuuza vitabu yafuatayo: Dar es Salaam, A Novel Idea, Slipway Msasani, Yacht Club Road Msasani Peninsula, The Book Cave, Mbezi Rainbow Social Club, Ara Museum Offices, Ikunda Bookshop, Kariakoo mtaa wa Mhunda, House of Wisdom, Mezzanine nambari 22 NHC House, Samora Avenue, Dar es Salaam, MacBooks and Brains, Mlimani City Mall, duka nambari 44, Dar es Salaam, TPH Books, barabara ya Samora, Elite Bookstore, Mbezi njia panda Goba, Mlimani Bookshop, Kariakoo mtaa wa Sikukuu na Lindi, Timiza Malengo, Ubungo Kona, Chuo Kikuu, Bookmart Online Shop, Instagram, Bookmart TZ, Twitter, Bookmart 1, Jamani Investment Limited, Nyerere Road, Airport Terminal 2, Shinyanga, Kahama Bookshop Center, mtaa wa Lumerezi, Arusha, Kase Bookstore, mtaa wa Sekei, A Novel Idea, TFA Center, Arusha Tanzania, Dodoma, Lugarawa Bookshop, Dodoma mjini, barabara ya 8, Moshi, Ape Bookshop, Moshi mjini, Christian Bookshop, Moshi mjini.
Wahi nakala yako sasa kwenye duka lolote lililopo karibu nawe.
EYC, vijana wapo kwenu hapo, mnawatazama na mnacheza nao muda wote. Mada tumeweka mezani kwa siku hii ya leo, unaitazamaje?
Nashukuru sana ndugu